Welcome back to Sinners in Repentance with AJ Beasley and David Bailey, your obedient servants, in the word of Elohim.
Yes.
Our Adonai, Yeshua the Messiah. We thank you so much for joining us today. I pray that the Lord would bless you for watching, liking, and sharing the videos. We at the end of our videos, we always put up a little thing that says, we believe these videos are a seed planted in faith, and by sharing the videos, you help that seed to grow. Thank you so much. At the end of our videos, if you stay tuned, you'll see that pop up at the end of the videos. I don't know if a lot of people see that, but we believe that. And we thank you so much, those of you who do, and blessing is coming your way, or has come your way for doing so. We're in Hebrews chapter 8 today. We just got through with 7, and in 8, a little bit shorter of a chapter, but a lot packed in there.
Yeah.
And we got a few really good points and connections to make. Yeah, that's it. Go ahead, Dave.
We'd remind you guys, hit the like button. If the thumbs up, if you like the content. He kind of threw me off with his little, that's it. He don't know what he's doing sometimes. Neither do I, though, so we're just doing the best we can. But we do appreciate when you guys hit the like button. Yep. It really helps us out. It helps get this word out there. And like I've said in a few other videos, that's the most important thing. Yep. Getting this word out there, spreading this gospel, this truth. But
we're not asking you to do it. The Word is asking you to do it. Yahuwah himself is asking you to do that.
Yes. And we'd also ask you to hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, click the little bell, hit all at the top. You get a notification every time we post. You won't have to search us. Make it easier on yourself. So we're going to be in chapter 8 here in Hebrews today, and we're going to read it like always, and then we'll go over it afterwards.
I wanted to say, too, it could be any two guys in this chair.
Yeah.
It could be two women in this chair.
Yes.
It's God that works.
Yes.
It's God that's working. So it doesn't matter who's in the chairs. So it's not about us. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. So here we go. We're going to get into it. Now, of the things which we have spoken, this is the sum. We have such a high priest who is set on the right hand of the throne of the majesty in the heavens, a minister of the sanctuary and of the true tabernacle, which Yahweh pitched, and not man. For every high priest is ordained to offer gifts and sacrifices. Wherefore it is of necessity that this man have somewhat also to offer. For if he were on earth, he should not be a priest, seeing that there are priests that offer gifts according to the Torah, who serve unto the example and shadow of heavenly things, as Moses was admonished of Elohim, when he was about to make the tabernacle. For see, says he, that you make all things according to the pattern showed to you in the mount. But now has he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second.
For finding fault with it, he saith, Behold, the days come, saith Yahuwah, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand and led them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith Yahuwah. But this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith Yahuwah, I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them their Elohim, and they shall be to me my people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Hey, know Yahuwah, for all will know me from the least to the greatest, because I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities I will remember no more. In that he saith, a new covenant a renewed covenant, I would say. He hath made the first old. Now that which decays and wax old is ready to vanish away.
I like how he used Yahuwah, which is the Hebrew version of Yahweh. This chapter, like he said at the beginning, even though it's short, there's so much in it. Right there in verse 2, it's one of my favorite verses in this chapter. It says, a minister of the sanctuary and of the true tabernacle, which Yahuwah pitched and not man. Think about that. Yahuwah pitched. We are Yahuwah's, not our mother or father, or not anybody. And, that's who we ought to be obeying. I wrote down here, actually, follow him, not man, be taught of him. He is our creator. He knows everything there is to know about.
And also, our body is the temple.
Yes.
Our body is the temple because, yes, men make temples and churches. And you guys all go to the churches and flock to the tabernacles. And that's good, that's fine. But there is a true tabernacle. See, what we do at church and what we do by gathering, it's a representation of a real thing. It's not the very thing itself.
Well, that's kind of a good example there of the church. If you think about the temple, when Yeshua walked the earth, there was a temple.
Yep.
And it was the temple of God, or the temple of Elohim, Yahuwah. And in the holiest of holy, which was the center part of the temple, no man could go. Only the high priest could go in there. And when Yeshua gave up the ghost, the veil that was covering that ripped in two, basically saying, okay, now it is open to all. So, good example there that AJ was trying to point out. Verse 5 is a shadow of an example of heavenly things. I thought that was a good point to see how the Torah and the things that were done in the Torah were an example.
And I want to say too, Jeremiah 31 through 34. Back in Jeremiah 31 through 34, David will put it on the screen for us.
Yeah.
It's the prophecy, the announcement that the new covenant would come.
Yes.
So it was foretold.
Yes.
Yeshua was foretold. The covenant. So I want to point out, it was prophetical. Yahuwah planned to replace the Levitical law from the beginning.
Yes.
From the beginning. Yes, we failed miserably, but he planned on replacing that from the beginning. Why? He knew we would fail, and he called us anyway. Remember that. He knew you were going to commit that sin. He called you anyway. What does that say about his love? It's all about him, not about us.
I mean, right? And I wrote down for the very next verse after the one that I was talking about just previously, verse 6 here, I wrote down, he is the mediator or advisor or power of attorney concerning our spirituality. And
that's a great point.
But yeah,
that's a great
point
to make.
Obviously 7 through 12, I think AJ is going to touch on a little more. But it says, because of our fault, I wrote down, because of our faults, the law was perfect. We were flawed in the keeping of it. The sacrifice was only given because we were unable to keep the commands. Elohim had mercy on us, basically, because of his love for us.
Yeah, that's another great point by David, because the law was, the wisdom of the law, the instruction of the law, people have forgotten about it. And then some people are too fanatical about it. That's why I say be spiritual.
Yeah.
Become a spiritual creature, and you won't act like that. You won't be tied to one denomination or another, or one certain way or another. You'll be fluid like water. Yeah. Able to be put into any container. But because we were what was wrong with the law.
Yeah.
Our sin was what was wrong. It wasn't weak because of the wisdom.
No.
It was weak because of us.
Isn't it Paul that says if there had been a
law given, which could have given life, verily it would have been by the
Leviticus law.
So we shouldn't dismiss it. But on the other hand, it's also not the means anymore by which we enter heaven, or receive salvation. But I would say that if your only goal in life is to receive redemption or salvation, you're dreaming small.
Yeah.
It's not just about that. That's the easy part.
Yeah.
That's the easy part. He does that. He gives that. Now it's our turn.
I think that's what it's talking about when it says store up your treasures in heaven.
Absolutely.
Have bigger
ambitions.
Yeah, ambitions.
Spiritual ambitions. And the last thing I'll point out here, if you read, the last 2 verses of chapter 8 there, for I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. In that he says a new covenant. He has made the first old, now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. I took my thing out. And I made a connection there with Ephesians chapter 2, verse 7. And I'll read it real fast.
He had a bookmark, but he took it out.
Ephesians 2:7 says, that in the ages to come he might show the exceeding riches of his grace in his kindness toward us through Yeshua the Messiah. So he says in the ages to come. So anyways, in the last days, so in the latter days, in the end times, there will be a grace movement. Oh, what a, oh, wow, I think that's happened.
Yeah.
And continue happening, yes. Happening. And I just wanted to point that out because it was foretold that a new covenant would come. Yeah. The new covenant gets here, and Paul writes to the Ephesians saying in the latter times it'll be even more love, even more grace. There'll be a grace movement.
Yes. Because
of the riches of his kindness toward us through Yeshua the Messiah. So remember that blood, it doesn't weaken. It doesn't vanish away. And if you say, I don't want the blood, he stays loyal. Because that's what he does. He redeems and he stays loyal. You turn away. How shocking would it be if someone were to turn away from the Lord and say, I'm done. I believe in the devil now. I don't even believe in the Lord. And at the end, they're at the Bema seat. This is the love we talk of. That's the kind of love that changes lives and boils up in us and gets the Holy Spirit going, as you see my juices. That's what gets it going, is understanding his love is so much greater than you may think it is. It's forever. It's endless. He has saved you. He has saved your soul. Thank you for joining us today. I want to remind you to get in this word so that it can get in you and cause revelation and growth, and to live as Messiah, to die as gain.
Praise Yah always. Spread the love of Yahushua. We love you guys.
We love you guys.
Shalom.
Shalom.